Do you prefer to keep the door open while on the toilet? And is this causing you awkward moments? Do you have a boyfriend that is more feminine than you are? Well, I have the solution for your problems. You may wake up to them before Scratch comes on air. Up for a Stony Award, this pair have become friends of mine and their careers are rocketing. Melvin O'Doom and Rickie have teamed up with Rochelle from the Saturdays and Radio 1's Nick Grimshaw to sweat the small stuff. I caught up with Melvin and Rickie to find out more. Good morning, lads.
Morning. Easy, Johnny. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
We're very, very good, thanks, dude. We just finished doing all of our post-production stuff for the show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Post-production stuff.
Exactly.
Very fancy. And how's your morning been?
It's been good. The show was really funny this morning. Had loads of great stuff on there, and all the usual stuff like laughs and kind of like celebrity news and like games and stuff. It was good fun.
Good fun. Well, I've been in your show and I know how fun it is.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Thank you, you're too kind.
Yeah, the money's on its way, don't worry.
Just checking I'm going to get that commission that you said I could get. So let's talk about your show. What is Sweat the Small Stuff?
Basically, it's a panel show with myself and Rickie as the team captains. It's hosted by Nick Grimshaw, and it's also featuring Rochelle from the Saturdays, who's on Rickie's team. And it's basically a show that makes a big deal out of the little things in life.
So give us an example of what little things are niggling away that we can discuss.
Okay, say for example you are walking down the street and you bump into somebody that you haven't seen for maybe like 2 or 3 years or so. You know that you know them, but you just can't remember their name. And while you're chatting to them, you're trying to rack your brain trying to remember their name, and you can't remember their name, and then you end up calling them the wrong name. That's the sort of thing that we sweat about on this show.
I think it's worse. I was walking the other day at home and I saw the dry cleaner, and I have no idea how a dry cleaner knows who I am because I've been there twice or whatever. And he looks at me and goes, "Hi, you right, mate?" And I was like, "I have no idea who you are." And it's like it's more awkward, I think, than them knowing who you are and you knowing who them are. You just can't think about it because you can kind of flag it. But it's when you have no idea. Who knows who their dry cleaner is? It's weird.
But that's a prime example. That's a perfect example of sweating the small stuff because you're sweating about it, but it's not really a big deal.
It's so true. So basically, we're all on social media now. We're all Instagramming, tweeting, Facebooking, Tumblring. Yeah. Do you think that because we're so obsessed with social media now and telling everyone everything that we're reading a lot more about, people come out with all these things that you just wouldn't usually say?
I think that when it comes to social media, people kind of forget that people are watching. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to express yourself and actually say how you feel on social media, which is why Chris Brown is constantly in trouble because
and deleting his profile and then re-adding it. I heard an interesting statement the other day. Somebody said that Twitter or Facebook or Kik or whatever you're on right now is a bit like the modern day diary. And diaries are quite personal to people. But obviously we're doing like diary things to the world. So yeah, people do think they're talking to themselves or talking to like a close select few friends or whatever, but you're really talking to the whole world.
Yeah, but I love it because I'm a nosy person. I like to be in people's business. So Twitter, Facebook, all that, it's a good thing.
Is that you self-plugging yourself on Facebook and Twitter then?
Yeah.
At Rickie HW.
That's all the ladies out there. And fellas, depending on what floats your boat.
I'll see what I can get.
I love Kik. I've got it, and it's like I don't know what you do on it. Like so for people that don't use it, it's like YouTube or Instagram for 30 seconds of video, and I literally just sit in my bed. And I'll go morning Kik World, and I'll have nothing to talk about. I'll just like you said, make a diary of your day. And I don't know who's watching it or who cares. Or Instagram, I just put pictures up of food the whole time, so I don't really know who cares about it. But like you say, we're all obsessed with it.
Exactly. But to be fair, for everything that you post, there's at least one person out there that is going to be interested in what you've got to say. So you're connecting with somebody out there at least.
Do you find it weird though that people find these things? I know that obviously you're quite big now, but like I don't know, when I Instagram a picture of food and I get 15 likes, I'm like, who's like it? And it comes up instantly, these likes. It's not like people have looked at it, it literally comes up instantly. Do you find that really weird?
Nope. I love it. At the end of the day, you're posting it up so it is shared, and that you want that feeling of people thinking, oh, I quite appreciate that, which is why I think people post up pictures in the first place. So if someone likes a picture, whether it's 100 people or whether it's one person, then it's a good thing.
I agree. And so what crazes have kind of taken off that have shocked you over the years then? Because we're talking obviously about sweating the small stuff in the sense of little problems, but have there been any crazes that you've been shocked by?
I hate planking. I don't understand why people are excited about laying flat on different surfaces. With these crazes, Rickie and Charlie usually embrace them. But for myself, I hate them. I can't stand owling. I don't like planking. It's a waste of time. The only one I do quite like is Batmaning. I think that's quite interesting.
What's Batmaning?
You like the Harlem Shake?
Harlem Shake. I was gonna say, I think the Harlem Shake's weird. I don't like the song, obviously, and I don't understand it. It's one of the things I think you have to really join in and embrace. Otherwise, if you're watching it from a distance, you're a bit like, what's going on?
I think the Harlem Shake is a genius idea.
I don't mind that one because I do think the song's alright, and I quite like dancing, so I enjoyed the Harlem Shake.
What about the Cha-Cha slide from back in the day of DJ Casper? Did you like that?
It's old school, yeah. We used to do that. We used to do club nights in the city, and we always used to play that song. It was actually like our anthem for our club night.
The Rickie and Melvin Cha-Cha slide.
Yeah, man.
So what worries do you have? So let's take it individually. So Melvin, you start. What worries do you have about, what things are you always sweating about?
I sweat about old people, generally. Because they're hard, you know. They pretend that they're not hard, but when I'm trying to get on a bus, I get pushed over by old people all day long. I also sweat about the first date, whether it's okay to split the bill on a first date. Because at the end of the day, women go on about being independent ladies, but if you say, let me split the bill, they think that you're not really much of a gentleman. So what's wrong with splitting the bill if it's 2013?
The worst bit is when girls then go, no, I want to pay for my bit. And you're like, no, I'm treating you. And you actually have an argument about who's going to pay that bill at the end of the day.
I'd like a woman to treat me for once on a first date, but that doesn't happen. And also, what's wrong with you using vouchers on a date? At the end of the day, girls see that as a bad thing, as disrespectful, but you're saving money, and at the end of the day, you're still eating, which is the whole point in the day. You get the migrate conversation and a free meal. Does it really matter if I use a voucher?
But what is a voucher? Because there's a taste. Have you heard of the taste card?
Yeah.
So I've got one of those, and obviously you're going to get really good places. I went last night. I spent £9 on soup, lamb shank, and a cheesecake. But what's the point?
Wow, Johnny went in.
But this is the point. It was a lamb shank, which is quite expensive. So the bill came to about, I don't know, £25 for just me. But I got it for like £10. So obviously you're going to save that money and go somewhere nice. So what's wrong with using a taste card?
Exactly. That's
Johnny.
My point, Johnny. But my point is, if you were to take a girl out on a date, and at the end of the date you brought out your Taste London card, she's not going to like it. She'll be on the blower to her mates saying, Johnny's a cheapskate. He took out his Taste London card. He's a waste man.
And what about you, Rickie? What are your sweats in life?
Well, I'm single at the moment, so I'm sweating just being single and stuff. And the thing that I hate at the moment is that I'm really fussy when it comes to going out with girls. So I can't go out with a girl who owns a dog or owns like any kind of like animal where they would like probably end up kissing them, because if they're going to kiss their animal, they're probably going to end up kissing me.
No way.
And dogs, like, they lick parts of their body that I don't want to be associated with, so that's what I'm sweating about.
I completely agree with you. I don't understand this whole obsession with girls and dogs where they're kissing them and like they let them literally lick their whole face, and it's like
exactly. We were speaking to Charlie about a similar situation on the show this week as well. She said that she used to have a horse, and she used to kiss her horse.
Yeah.
With tongues.
Man.
I mean, if you don't sign up for that, Johnny, when you meet a girl, you don't want to sign up to a relationship where your girlfriend kisses like other animals, especially horses and dogs and stuff. That's not cool.
Potentially, you could lose your girl to a horse. It's something to think about.
And that's not the male you're thinking about there. Well, Rickie, we'll go out and we'll find nice girls that don't like dogs and just don't do animals.
Thank you, Johnny. That's needed. I'm going to need your help on that one, I think. Nice one.
Okay, so you've been a pair for a couple of years. What annoying habits have you both noticed about each other?
We have the same habit.
We both snore really, really, really loudly. Like, I snore so loud sometimes, I wake myself up from my own slumber. That's how loud I snore. Like, myself and Melvin went away the other day to a festival in the snow called Snow Bombing, and we shared a room, and I'm pretty sure that we were snoring in unison throughout the night, every single night. It was terrible.
Do you have you ever downloaded that app on your phone where you can kind of hear what you say in your sleep and hear how you sound when you snore?
Sleep Talk.
Yeah, have you used it?
We have, yeah.
And anything come up? Have you been saying anything in your sleep?
No, just snoring.
I just literally snoring for straight 8
We
hours.
ain't got time for talk when we're snoring as loud as we snore.
I downloaded it and I put it on to record, and it was one of those things that I wanted to listen to myself, and so I was up the whole night making sure it was recording myself. So let's go.
Just turn it on and just forget about it. Go sleep.
Yeah, but I can't tell. I'm one of those. I read somewhere that 90% of people, I think it's my Uber fact for today, that 90% of teenagers have their phone right next to them as they sleep. I'm on my phone the whole night checking it.
Wow.
It's sad. So, back to your show. What's it like working with Nick Grimshaw? Because he is your breakfast rival.
But he is now, yeah. But when we actually first started working with him on the show, we're like in the development stages. He wasn't actually on the breakfast show, so it's kind of weird now that he is. But it's kind of nice at the same time because we've got similar experiences to talk about, getting up early and having to go to bed early, and talking to guests in the morning and stuff. So it's quite nice. It's more of a positive than a negative, I'd say.
Yeah, and we knew him before the show kind of started. We've got a mutual friend called Remy Nicole, who's a singer. So if she ever had like parties, he'll be there and we'll be there. So it was quite comfortable from the outset when we started.
Yeah, we used to work at MTV as well. He used to work at MTV, so there's a lot of similarities between us.
And is there anyone you'd love to have on your panel?
Yeah, Jennifer Metcalf.
Oh,
Can you sort that out for us, Johnny?
She's been there because of Hollyoaks recently. She's in the big storyline, so she's been on all the TV programmes. I'm surprised that you can't get her like that. Snap her up.
I'd like to get Russell Brand. I think Russell Brand is a comical genius. I'd love to have him on my team on the show. Love it.
Russell Brand is one of those people I absolutely like. He did. He was doing something about drugs for Comic Relief. Saying don't take drugs, and he wrote a blog.
I saw it.
Did you see the blog?
Yeah, I did.
Amazing.
Really
absolutely
good.
Amazing.
Really good. Yeah, you're right.
And there's lots of panel shows. There's Celebrity Jews, never mind the Buzzcocks. Are there any panel show you're kind of basing your image on?
No, this is our own show.
Yeah.
With us. It's brand new. It's never been done before. It's Sweat the Small Stuff. Tuesday nights, BBC 3. So watch it. Forget everything else.
10 p.m. 10 p.m.
And I want to talk a bit about radio now. So a lot of people who are listening to Scratch at the moment, and a lot of people at university are studying to be radio presenters. How did you both get into radio, and what advice would you give?
I got into radio because I went to a performing arts college called the Brit School, and we had like a radio studio there. We had like an internal radio station. We also had like an RSL that went out like once a year in the summertime as well. So that was my gateway into radio. Then I did university radio as well, and then did loads of work experience when I left university at loads of different companies all around London and around the country and stuff. And that's kind of how I got in.
Brilliant.
I think for me, my real passion kind of came about when I met Rickie at Luton University, and we studied media performance and radio, and we did loads of student radio there for a local RSL for a few months. And for me, that's kind of like my kind of real taste of radio. At school, I did media studies and worked for another local RSL called Town FM, which went out on cable radio stations and cable television as well. So that was kind of like my first taste of radio. But when we left university after 3 years, I kind of worked for kids and worked for youth clubs in East London, then went back to work experience because of Rickie working for the BBC. And I think that was kind of like my first real job in radio, and that's kind of how the ball got rolling. We signed up to do this competition, won the competition and got signed up to an agency, and they essentially helped us put together like a show reel which was seen by one of the execs at KISS, and they called us in to do some demos, and they were kind of like critiquing us and said, look, work on this, work on that, come back. So we did a few demos and then managed to luckily get the weekend breakfast show here at KISS, and then from then on we got the weekday breakfast show, which is when we got teamed up with Charlie, and we've been here ever since.
So what I would say to anybody that's an aspiring radio presenter is just try and do as much radio as you can, like yourself, Johnny, and also just do as much work experience as you can, because you end up meeting so many people, and it's all about contacts in this industry as well. So yeah, work experience, work experience, work experience.
I completely agree. And finally, who are your inspirations that you were looking up to when you were looking at radio or listening to radio as a young presenter?
I think in my early days, when I used to just listen to radio and not even think about a career in it, I used to love listening to Dr. Fox on the Pepsi Max chart back in the day. But then when I was actually studying radio, it was all about Trevor Nelson for me. Trevor Nelson was the beacon of light that I used to listen to on the radio, like every single week without fail.
Wow.
Yeah, I think for me, Johnny, there's so many people. Like Rickie, early days was Tim Westwood for me because I was really madly into my hip-hop. I loved the energy of his show. And also Trevor Nelson, just as a broadcaster, I think he's amazing. But because we were lucky enough to work in production at the BBC, we kind of worked with so many different DJs, from Ace and Viz to Rampage to Robbo Ranks, Reggie Yates. Even coming here at KISS, you kind of like see how people work, like Justin Wilkes, like Neve. They're all amazing. Shorty Blitz. Someone like David Ruddigan, who's been here from day dot. He was here at KISS from day dot. And when we first came here, he kind of gave us so much advice as broadcasters and how we can kind of like deal with working on the breakfast show. And he's been doing it from when we were kids, do you know what I mean? And he's a great broadcaster and DJ, and he's got such a passion for the music. So I think you can essentially learn from anyone and everyone. You just kind of take your favorite bits from anyone and everyone and kind of make it your own. So yeah, you can. There's not just one inspiration for me anyway.
Great. Well, thank you so much. So do you want to plug again your show? It's on next Tuesday. Who's on your show? Do you know yet?
The guests are still being confirmed. I think they want it to be a surprise, but they will be people that you know, people that you love. And as you know, it's going to be on BBC Three on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. BBC Three.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed that. I hope you've had fun.
Thank you.